Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay? I would think so. Okay. This is really going to be a special moment here tonight. I want to thank all of you for joining in, and this is really something, and um, we're actually going to be demonstrating something on an opportunity for anyone on that they personally are going to have a healing. So we have something really nice, planned that we're going to be inviting you all to participate in. So I would think that, you know, and if you could save like some of your questions towards the end, but I welcome any of your comments, along the way. That's really fine too. That's really good. So we certainly are living in the Great Awakening, okay? And the goal is, to me, is to enter this process to be calm, but yet be very strong. This is absolutely a time for us to stay strong and be strong. I want to start with, I love this saying, and actually I just put it in a book that I'm writing. The winds of grace are always blowing, but you have to raise the sail. Okay, so no matter what it is that we're going through in life, okay, this is not the time to be stuck. This is not the time to do nothing. This is the time internally that we can keep making these amazing shifts. And what brought up this topic that we're having tonight is with a lot of the different ups and downs that people are feeling. And I'm just going to talk about myself, coming to the point of what's real, what's not real, what's true, what's not true. There is such chaos and a division in the external world of what's going on. It's been going on for a while, but now we know it's in full motion, as some people call it, the storm. I want to call it the purification is head on. And this is a beautiful, powerful purification. And that I believe we've all agreed, to come here during this time. This is what we're to experience and do, because we are spiritual leaders. We really are spiritual leaders, and observing all the different divisions and all the elements of separation that's going on, all the different realms of chaos is going on. We have the infinite power. We have direct connection with God. We have direct connection with Source. I want to tell you, this is a powerful time to keep creating. This is a powerful time of manifesting and visualizing exactly, even more than ever, whatever it is you want for yourself in your life. But here's where the majority of the people will dig their heels in, and they'll let some of this energy get caught up in their body. And so today, some of the stuff that we're going to share is how important it is. Number one, you're not alone. We have each other, okay? And to rely on these sources with each other, calling in for help. I'm forever getting my energy cleared every other day, okay? And this is not a bad thing to do. This is healthy. The level of intensity that we're dealing with it's not been experienced before, but we have tools. And today you're going to get a really, really good tool of how to keep moving the energy, but how to apply it to different parts of your body if you're feeling certain aches and certain pains. So I'm finishing up very tail end before it goes to publishing company, my book called Second Wind. And this one section is about, what the mind, as we know today, it's about the mind and the heart. But the heart attacks, strokes, congestive heart failure, angina, what else is there? A broken heart, people who get pacemakers, all of this is escalating in the medical field. Prostate cancer is on the rise big time. Cancers are just so on the rise. We have what it takes to calm the mind down, to relax those vessels, to make these changes from what is spinning in our brains, to calm it down in our mind. I mean, one morning this week, Paul and I we're still from MSI when we were in Proctor Gallagher Institute, we're still accountability partners, okay? Twice a week at least we're on. And there was a morning, I'm like, whoa, this is strong. I don't know what's going on. My head felt heavy. I felt like I was in a cannonball, it was just a lot. And my go-to always is I call Dorian Dale Tharp. Okay, we clear energies and all of that. And then Paul said, hey, I'm going to show you something and let's just go through it. It's so pathetically simple. I've done it in the past, but in this way, we're amping it up even more so that everybody can use. I truly, truly believe that we are entering into times that I want you to have some specific tools that you can use to keep your mind calm, keep your heart strong. Okay, I'm going to say this throughout this class. Calm your mind, keep your mind calm down, but keep your heart strong. And stay the leader, stay the light. Our world is changing like we have never, ever seen before. The reality of how the world exists or did exist is never going to exist like that again. Okay? It's as we talked about, we go through these shamanic deaths, we go through the night of the dark soul. But the good news is this purification has a powerful purpose. This is needed. Going through this on the other side is going to be so magnificent. Granted, there will be the pain, there could be the suffering, there will be whatever along the way, yes, beyond even anything I can imagine. I am willing, I am so thankful, I am willing to, whatever this takes to go through this, because as I shared on another class not too long ago, get the gifts that are in it, but the gift is ourself. The gift is the light and the love. Okay, so I am not going to create a doom and gloom situation here. No, I don't know why, but I probably do know why. It's like a powerhouse that is roaring through me. We all have this. We all have access to this infinite strength and power right now. You think of it, for some of you who've had children, if not, maybe you've been around animals, who've given birth, you've been around something that you've done for a long time. And it's been not an easy birthing situation. The last pregnancy I had years ago was really difficult. Really difficult. I thought it would never end. Okay. Just like some people in the hurricane right now. And I heard some responses where people were like, oh my gosh, it feels like at the moment it's never going to end. Okay. But we live in an ocean of motion. It will end, and the light always wins. Okay, it just will. So it's again, always who do we become along the way? Calm the mind, keep the mind calm and keep the heart strong. All right. And Matt and I were talking about, again, some of these thoughts and these principles that just important for us to keep in mind. So I want to have Matt share a few of his thoughts. Then I'm going to go through a simple little exercise, and then we're going to go to Paul guiding us in some things. And then before he starts, Margaret and I are going to chime in, and we're going to assist everybody on this to have a healing today. Okay. Hi, Matt. Are you on mute? We have a technical opportunity. There you go.
Judy, can I just say real quick?
Sorry.
Good. Go ahead.
Everybody.
Go ahead, Margaret.
I just wanted to say, when you said this big, I don't remember your exact words, but you said something about this big energy from spirit or whatever, and the wind came in my window, like to knock me off this chair when you said that. Pretty amazing.
That I'm glad you mentioned that. We're jumping around like these butterflies. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. It wasn't in the forecast. We had this gusts of wind come through, this rain come in, and I'm like, oh yes, the spirits are so happy, you know. And it's when we could feel we're following our heart, when we can feel that purposeful momentum, you know, and we're lifting up the vibration and being about life. And yes, this is the time to put up our sails. This is the time, because the wind is blowing. Okay, the wind is happening. And where do we want to be aligned with? There, we got Matt back. Thanks for sharing that, Margaret.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, good. Sorry about that. So, love and light. This thing has been coming up a lot, and doing our own research at night or in the morning, I've come across something that's just real interesting, and this kind of goes back to the old Dred Scott decision, where we hear about men being, 3/5 of a man, and like then I started getting into that a little bit, and I'm like, well, what does it mean to be 5/5 realized? But before we even talk about that, what are the 2/5 that were not taxed? And it's love and light. You can never tax love and light. You can't tax source. Source is in us. That's the 2/5. And I'm just so blown away by this, that it's so literal, the love and the light. And so when we bring this together and we become 5/5 realized, we become whole. We become sovereign a little bit with our own magic. And what I was planning to say got steamrolled by what you had said. Keep your mind calm, keep your heart strong.
Well, yeah, I got that from you, I think yesterday. So and being in the present. Okay. I would love for you to share, because people are going through these somersaults.
Right. So what we're doing is we have a company, we have a business, we're doing those types of things, but we also see each other, and when we interact with each other, there's a lot of this going on right now. Does this look right? Does this feel right? We keep talking a lot about discernment, and like we're getting a lot of information and a lot of disinformation, and we're having to use our own discernment to try to make sense of it all. And then now we're finally to that point where we're like, hey, this doesn't look right. I'm getting a weird feel, a weird read on this. Something's on the land isn't, it's out of balance, and I'm feeling it now because I've been doing the work. I've been cleaning myself out from the inside out, from getting the parasites and the toxins. And now all of a sudden I can feel so much more, and it's too intense at times. And this is where the message that we're delivering could not have come at a more perfect time for myself, where how do I love having a mind. I love having, and then we can talk about the brain. Is it this brain? Is it the skin? Is it the gut? It's all of it. And and we're getting all this new information from what I think is the light code. And it's this DNA upgrade. It keeps going back to this. We're getting, something's happening where we're getting an upgrade. So there's this internal thing happening to us where we're feeling it, but then there's this external thing where we're getting all of this information. It's like fire hose, just it's too much, where the natural reaction would be to pull back. And I don't think that's where what we need to do. We need to lean into each other right now. And we really need to just
Be in the
figure
moment.
out how to get this love and light vibration as high as it can so we can all be 5/5 realized. And
And we were talking about just be in the now. Be in the now.
so this is something Paul's been helping me with. I know you guys work together, but I've also taken him up on his offer, and I'm like, how do we stay in the now? And like, what does that even mean? Because like we've been programmed to like plan ahead. You gotta, you gotta have goals, and you want to see these. I'm like, okay, I could be in the now for like the next hour, for like the next 6 hours, and then maybe for like tomorrow. But any more beyond that, there's so much stuff coming in from all sides that I don't know how to I'm being forced to learn to live in the now, whether I like it or not. And then this thing with the now is like, it might be all we have. Everybody talks about the past and the present and time traveling and wormholes, and is it multidimensional? Are there portals? And it's like so much to synthesize all this and to come back to something that's meaningful and real and that's actionable and that like I can do tomorrow. And I keep saying this, each one teach one and we'll all reach some. And it's just like, well, what do we have to teach? What do we know? Nothing really. And so it's just like, but I've got all this love in me that I want to share with others. And I know that it always comes back to this love vibration. And if it's a vibration, you're talking about electricity, positive, negative. Well, this is something Margaret was helping me with just the other day is I was kind of getting down on love. I was kind of up too much love. All you need is love. It's all love. And but then love backwards is evil. And then to live backwards is evil. And so it's like, what is love? What is that? And I was out last night. I stayed at your house last night and I was stargazing. And I just tried to get real quiet, get real grounded, ask the universe for some direct knowledge of what it is to be here. And I kept going back to family. Like whatever craziness is going on with the banks and the politicians and just the military, but my family is what I couldn't be here experiencing all these other external things and know what it is to be a joy to be a father, to be a son, to be part of even if it's not a biological family. Like I know what that feels like. And that might be why we're here, is to experience this gift of what it means to have family. I need you to pull me back in. This is where, because it's like, whoa, it's like this wave of this breath. Yeah, it's like a breath, and I feel that the universe is going through that breathing too. And I'm just on what cycle of the breath. I'm like, inhaling or is it exhaling? And it's just the cycle is so intense right now that I'm looking for some takeaways from this and from all you beautiful people, how to calm that down.
That
And be in
is
that.
so good, Matt, because you know what I appreciate about what you just said? It's real. Okay. A lot of people are experiencing this. And where you were saying about reaching out just to start calling another friend or family you haven't called in a while. And that's something that I really like, that I have absolutely committed to. And So before we go on to Paul, and thank you. You had something else?
Oh, I'm sorry. The last thing with that is that suggestion with the family is misery doesn't that saying misery loves company. I'm not looking for company, but reaching out to family and a cousin, an aunt, or somebody that you haven't normally conversed with and just say, "Hey, how's it going?" I think that there's something really powerful in sharing this with each other, and that like, no, this doesn't look right. No, I'm not cool with everything that's going on. I am freaking out, but I'm trying to hold it together and put on a professional exterior because that's what that's what I think I'm trained to do, right? That's what a man is in this society, in the big C culture. He's tough, he's strong, he doesn't show his weakness and cry. And, you know, I'm like, whoa, where's the love and the light in any of that description?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is real, Mom. This is a real good time to just get grounded and connect with the two fifths that can't be taxed, that is divine, that comes from source, that comes from the creator, that love and light.
Mhm.
It's our gift. It's our
We
blessing.
can keep making these shifts, and we will. And what I want to do, before going to Paul, and kind of this could be something helping with Matt, myself, all of you, is I want you to take a few minutes and I want you to think about, I want you to write it down. I want you to anchor it in 1 to 3 mantras. It could be a short prayer. It could be a saying. You're going to need this before doing this next exercise. Come up with a mantra that if something hit on such a shocking level, let's say you got really thrown off your center, a saying that you could say over and over and over again and apply it to what Paul's going to walk us through. And it could be an affirmation, it could be a prayer, but you're going to want to know specifically what is a soul mantra for yourself to help you. Well, you might be going through a huge panic attack. You might be going through something that you have no idea how you're going to handle this information. You have no idea what's going to happen if you have something unexpectedly come up. But this is going to be key. And again, I'm just being led to do certain things to help people prepare for not only what I believe is in a very short time going to be happening, but it's exciting too. I wouldn't miss it for nothing. You know, I want to hold that type of space, but we're going to need to know and have in hand what are some practices we could do very, very quickly, and that can work. And I never underestimate the power of prayer. Okay. But having a short mantra, you might remember that. You might not have time to go read something, but you need to have something available to you to do one of these exercises, as we talked about, going from the head to the heart. And there's going to be a number of different somersaults that can happen like that. So Paulette, oh, wow. And you've got some good stories too, you know, a really powerful experience recently to lead up to this as well.
Well, thank you, Judy. Thank you, Matt. I'd like to share too that I think it's an uncomfortable time for everybody, and I feel when you're expressing yourself, even if that's a strength, even if you're being vulnerable and sharing your discomfort, that's a huge strength to have. Can you hear me okay? When we're on, like, if we're comfortable, we're not in a growing state. There's no growth in being comfort. It's very uncomfortable right now. Just being tapped into this transition, this shift that's happening, it's very uncomfortable, and it can be very easy to get caught up in our thoughts. And I love the idea, and you mentioned about being present. It's one of the anchors I've found was focusing on my breathing. Right away, that anchors me back into the now. And you're like, well, what is now? What's the now? It's it slows down our thinking. And if we're so caught up in our thoughts, we're not here. We're either in the future or in the past, which that's to me, that's you're not you're basically dead because you're not living now. And that's all there is. Like time is essentially an illusion. So where I'm kind of rambling too a bit here, Judy, but
This is good.
it's very, I think whenever we feel stuck, we're in our head, I feel, and it's go back to our hearts. So there's a little exercise we're going to do there, um, and just taking some inspired action. Like, I just want to share a quick story, which how this went. A friend of mine, his dad made his transition. He passed away, and one of the daughters had a song that she liked, uh, that would always remind her of him. And right away, it's like, oh, I want to play that for her at this celebration. And it was just going with the heart. You're just leading with your heart. You're finding, where, like, get out of it with your head. It's like, there's something I wrote down here, and I'm kind of going a bit. It's like love is a selfless service for your fellows. You're willingly giving, and love is a selfless service for others. And this is something I heard recently, but it's like, okay, I want to do this because my heart's telling me to do it, and no questions. I'm not going to think about it. I'm going to do it. And sure enough, her husband, and like, I'm not asking for these things. I just did it because my heart said do it. And her husband was, worked for a builder that needed somebody to do work, and it just led to another opportunity to give some more. And I just, things are now starting to move, and it's because we're moving and we're going with it. It's like tuning into your heart, trusting your intuition, and then just taking action. So I'm kind of all over it.
You used the term earlier when we were talking that I loved, because we were talking about all these different, are you half-hearted, are you full-hearted, or my heart's not in it. But then when we know something is of truth, there's a term we use. It's called
Right.
it. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's like when we catch ourselves saying like, oh, that's a no-brainer. It is, that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
It's like no-brainer because you don't need your brain to make that decision.
Yeah. So there's a difference between the promptings and the wisdom that might come to us, and there's a flow that comes to us with when there's discernment, and we could feel these, intuitions or wisdom. But when it's more chaotic, it hurts your head. It's so different. It drains your energy. You feel pain in your body. But when we go to something in our heart and we just know it's a no-brainer. I love that term. It's a no-brainer. That is so good. Thanks, Paul. So before you walk us through what we're going to do, does everyone have an affirmation or mantra? Or Matt, you want to say something?
Well, this part always is hard for me. So I think you've already given it to us for keep my mind calm, keep my heart strong. Mind calm, heart strong. Mind calm, heart strong. That's what I'm going to use today for the exercise until I can come up with something a little bit more.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Good. Okay. Everyone else has a mantra of something.
And I did want to share too that
Mhm.
your body is following your mind. So anything that you keep telling yourself, your body will start to go in that direction. So if you keep saying, I am calm, you can tell your body to relax, because your body is the instrument of the mind. You can say, body, relax, and your body will start to follow that. So anything after I am, even if it's something you don't want, it's those things we think in secret that, it's like, oh, I'm getting anxious. Well, okay, you're going to start to set up that vibration of anxiety. I am calm. I am strong. Carry on, Judy.
No, I'm so glad we went through this. I really am. And that I got to talk with some people beforehand. I had a lunch engagement with some other business associates that it was, I just kept thinking that I am calm and I am strong. Because it wasn't what I thought I was walking into, but it ended up being even better. Okay, I had to get through the calm and stand strong. And then it just turned out even better than I, anticipated. Didn't even go any which way I thought, only better. But that is what we can expect. Maybe it appears this way or that way, but I promise you, we are not going through what we're going through for nothing. It's because the blessings are going to keep coming. And when we can stay that focus and that calmness, whatever it takes in our heart, there's just blessings and opportunities to serve and to love is going to keep coming. So I'm going to have Paul explain just what we're going to do, and we're going to do it on Zoom. We're going to take 10 minutes on Zoom around there. We'll kind of know when. And then he's going to guide you what to do. And then Margaret and I are going to add to it. But I'll tell you after Paul's done. Go ahead, Paul.
So one of the techniques that I've heard, that I implement is whenever I get caught up in my head and if I'm overactive or I'm overthinking, it's my awareness is in my head, right? So if we just take your hands, like actually take your hands, put them on your heart. So it's like when you're doing this, whatever you're focusing on, that's where your energy is going to go. So you're actually signaling that that's where your awareness is going, to your heart. You don't want to be in your head. I remember hearing, if you're in your head, you're dead. You're not in your heart. Your heart is radiating out. So I think we can just, as you're holding your heart, think of appreciation and gratitude.
We're starting to do this, I'll let you guide us through this. Margaret and I remotely are going to be visualizing our hands over your heart. So I'll have mine then on top of your heart, and Margaret's are going to be then on top of mine. Okay, so we're going to do this as a group, and we'll let you know when it ends. But go ahead, Paul, you can explain.
And just know, when you're in a state of appreciation, there's no fear, there's no anger. You can only focus on one at a time. So let's go back to the source of love and appreciation. And if you have a mantra in mind, you can breathe in. So we're breathing in the light, and you can breathe out whatever needs to come out, and you can breathe into your heart and out whatever you feel needs to leave, and keep your attention and your awareness on your heart. And we're going to breathe in and out however you feel comfortable with that. And we're going to be a little still here. And as we're in a calm state, we're allowing this life energy to flow to and through us. And if you want to share anything, Judy.
Paul, as they get started in the breathing, can you read?
This is excerpted, and this is A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. My deepest fear is not that I'm inadequate. My deepest fear is that I'm powerful beyond measure. It is my light, not my darkness, that most frightens me. And I ask myself, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who am I not to be? I'm a child of God. My playing small doesn't serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so small that others won't feel insecure around me. I was meant to shine as children do. I was born to manifest the glory that is within me. It's not just in me, it's in everyone. As I let my light shine, I unconsciously give others permission to do the same. And as I am liberated from fear, our presence automatically liberates others. If your mind starts to wander, just go back to your mantra.
So now everybody can slowly come back to the present. And not that you weren't in the present, but there was a complete clearing of everyone on the call. So you might feel your head is lighter, or it might feel kind of different. You know, you could feel, you know, it's got a little cleared out, you know, and more in the heart. Anybody want to share anything?
The healing hands, that was really powerful for me, to visualize your hands on top of my hands and Margaret's hands on top of your hand, or I'm sorry, Margaret's, then yours. I don't know why we have to go through this guided meditation, why I can't do this for myself, but I can't. I have to be with you guys to feel what I just felt. When you said there was a clearing, I felt it. Absolutely. I think this is we're realizing that we need to come together. We have to help each other. We can't do it on our own. And it was yours and Margaret's healing hands that I felt on top of mine. And then I started feeling my mind race a little bit. And then Paul said, focus on the mantra. That'll put you back. It's like hitting the tuning fork again. It keeps you on that note. And then the breath work, or whatever that was, I could feel my heartbeat. I could feel it. I don't normally feel it. It's just connecting with the physical part of my heart. It's amazing. But I don't know why it has to be in this type of setting or environment, but I can't somehow do this myself. But when I hook up with two or more, something starts to happen.
Definitely. I like that. Thank you, Matt.
And this is something, even Matt, if you want to do for 5 minutes in the morning, you know, even if you have some music on, if that helps connect. I'm happy to do it with you if you want anytime.
That's great. And I apologize for not having music on this. Kimberly had to leave. She's my music lady. But that's a nice offer, Paul. That's awesome. Anybody else want to share? Diane, you are so quiet.
I really enjoy what Paul and Matt and you have been talking about. You know, it's interesting. This week when I was teaching Legendary, instead of teaching the class I was planning to teach, I taught on the terror barrier, which is really working through the chaotic ideas that are assailing us, and you know, understanding that there's a culture around us and there's a culture of our mind, and understanding that is what creates positive change, you know, moving in that direction, understanding the culture of who we surround ourselves with and the culture of our mind. And I just kept thinking of telling them the story of my near death accident out in the ocean when, you know, I had been studying this for so long that it came to me. And the first thing was breathe, you know, like Paul said, breathe. And then I am calm, you know, and, you know, I just love the James Allen comment, the calmness of mind is a beautiful jewel of wisdom. It is the result of long and patient effort and self-control. It is an indication of ripened experience and a more than ordinary knowledge of the law and operation of thought. I just love that phrase because it really is about understanding that we're in control of the calm. We're in control of the calm.
Oh gosh, I love that. Thank you. Thank you, Diane. That's great. Penny,
That
go ahead.
that chapter, Diane, is a meditation all on its own. That chapter on serenity, just being in a serene vibration. You could write that out every day.
Mhm. Mhm. Good. And anything else before we have a lovely evening? I'm going to read one quick thing from Francis Thompson. From an immortal power, all things are connected, and so connected they are that you cannot touch a flower without disturbing a star. I mean, the interconnection between everything in nature, everything we do, everything we touch. This is about connection, connecting our mind to our heart, connecting with each other. You know, this is so powerful, this awareness, conscious awareness. Like Matt was saying, he could feel his heart pounding. You know, we could feel what's going on in our body. This inner connection within ourself is so magnetic. And at the end, I just want to say, you can be and do anything your heart desires. And remember, calm the mind and keep the heart strong. This is great. Thank you for joining us today. I loved it. And I love each and every one of you. This is so good. Thank you and see you soon. Oh, Catherine, sorry about that. I think Catherine wanted to say something. Or she gave a thumbs up. Okay, cool. All right. Good night, everyone, and see you soon. Bye-bye.